So you want 2026 to be the year you finally see results and transform your body. You want to lose fat, build muscle, and get more toned, all while feeling more confident. Well, in this video, I will be sharing with you guys an Olympian's step-by-step guide on how to get in the best shape of your life in the new year. If that sounds interesting, keep watching. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sember. For those of you who do not know me, I am a 3-time Olympian and now coach helping women grow stronger physically and spiritually. I know how it feels to desire a goal and not hit it because you just don't have the right plan or you just don't know where to begin. As years have gone on, I have accumulated a lot of knowledge as to how do I get in shape. As an Olympian, I have had to figure out how to get my body in tip-top shape year after year for championships, for competitions, for just staying in shape to stay healthy, and I really want to use what I know to help you guys do the same. So the number one thing I want you guys to do is I want you to take on the persona of the person you want to be. So whatever the ideal person is, whether that is a woman who is very toned, a woman who eats healthy every single day, a woman who, you know, is just really confident, I want you to take on that persona. And one way you can do this is just by asking yourself, what does that person do on their day to day? So for me, what I did when I wanted to become an Olympic athlete or I wanted to really achieve things at the world stage is I had to ask myself, what are the best of the best women doing in my event that I can be doing today and I can start embracing as my own personality, as myself. Because here's the thing, if we kind of take our old mindsets into our new year and into the goals we want, we aren't going to live up to that new person and that new lifestyle because we're still going to be associated with the old things we used to do. If your heart is willing but your mind is not right, then you're going to fall back into the trap of going back to where you were. So the goal here is to really get your mind comfortable with embracing the new, creating new routines, new structures, literally a new personality so that you can take on that new trait of that person. For example, if you want to become somebody who looks very toned, then you're gonna have to do what toned people do. Whether that is eating healthier, getting more rest so you recover, somebody who actually wakes up at like a certain time, whatever that is, just become clear on what that person does. And I want you to start now in December as this video goes live and start embracing those things. And just, you don't have to do it all at once. I'm not saying like write down 10 different things and do them all the next day. I'm saying take one of those traits and each day start to implement them slowly. So what can you do to become that person and to have that persona of I'm going to get this thing done. I'm going to be the person that I want to be in 2026. And that's going to be the first step into reaching your goals with your weight loss, with your, strength journey, whether that is wanting to just be healthier and feel more energized, or whether that is just you want to look and feel confident. That's going to be the first step. Every year that I did this was when everything changed for me. I became so consistent in how I looked at my life. When you make vision boards, for instance, or when you make like prayer boards, people tend to do that because they know it's like helping them become something else by looking at it every day. So this is a very similar idea in just writing it down or knowing it in your mind, like I want to become this person, so let me start embracing that stuff. If you have to print out pictures of what that person does or print out a certain time you want to wake up, certain foods you want to start eating, print it out, write it down, see it every day, just become that person. I promise you it will make a huge difference in what you're going to do moving forward and how the year goes on. Because I promise you, once you take on that personality, it's really hard to go back. You'll be like,
I can't do that because my ideal person doesn't do that.
You will start to see things shift, your mindset shift, your outcome shift. It'll make a huge difference for you. So the next thing you want to do if you want to lose fat and be in the best shape of your life is you're going to have to increase where you're at right now with weightlifting. If you want to get toned and look sculpted, you have to include lifting. You can't just do cardio all day, okay? Cardio is not bad, and cardio is good if you want to be in a caloric deficit to keep your body lean. But if you want that like sculpted, like I have curves on my arms, my back looks ripped, like if you want that look, you're going to have to lift weights. And so I talk about this in all my videos, but lifting weights does not have to be complicated. You don't have to be, going crazy like a bodybuilder, but you can definitely start to lift weights and do that more consistently. Chances are right now, if you want your body to look different from where you're at, you're gonna have to increase what you're doing. So if you're already lifting weights, that's fine, but whatever you're doing now, maybe increase that to like an extra day, or you know, maybe you're gonna like start lifting a little bit heavier. You just want to make sure you're including progressive overload, which just means each week you add a little bit of like intensity, or you add reps just to make your body not get so acclimated, so that you start to see progress each and every week. So I want you to focus on getting that strength training in addition to cardio, because I promise you it will make a difference with how your body starts to recomp. And I want to remind you guys to not get too consumed with how much your scale's changing in this whole process, because body recomposition may make you fluctuate in weight. So that's just something I want you to focus on if you are trying to get that sculpted, toned, you know, fit girl look this year for your fitness goals. I promise you, if you start doing this often, you will start to feel empowered. You will start to be like, I love lifting because it feels like you're stronger. You'll feel confident. You'll feel like you can do things you couldn't do before. There's something addicting about starting to lift weights and actually getting better at it and seeing your body do things you haven't done in the past. So I highly recommend incorporating it more so of what you're doing now, because you will start to see so much more progress in your body and just how it changes. Because like I said earlier, if you just do cardio, you'll have like that skinny fat look. Let's say you want to be like very, very lean. You might just have that skinny look, but you won't have the toned, sculpt, I want definition look. All right, the next thing that's going to help you get in the best shape of your life in 2026 is paying attention to your caloric intake. So what are your goals next year? Do you want to shed fat? Then you're really going to have to be in a caloric deficit. That just means you're burning more energy than you're taking in. So you want to make sure that your body is not taking too many calories in if your goal is fat loss. Now, I'm gonna give you a caveat here and say that the year that I actually was my leanest and most in shape was a year I actually ate more food. But hear me out. The food I was eating was not processed. It was not, you know, unhealthy. That was a year where I just focused on getting the healthiest, whole, nutritious foods with my right macronutrients, whether that was carbs, fats, proteins. I was doing that, and that was the year that I actually shed the most fat. So caloric intake doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, like you're taking away a lot of things. It just can be you're paying more attention to what you're taking in. So if you're not yet, some people like to track food. I personally don't, because I just have a more like intuitive eating approach. However, some people find it helpful to track everything they eat, and something that I've done in the past was MyFitnessPal. That's something that people like to do. There are also a lot of other apps that you can start to track your food on. I would also get like a calorie tracker. It tells you how much you're working out and how many calories you should be eating, so that you're not underfueling as well. Because here's the thing, like I said earlier, I was eating more because my body craved it. I needed it so that it could help me, you know, build that muscle and get stronger and get more toned. So you're gonna have to make sure you're not underfueling, because actually when you start to underfuel, people are shocked to see that the times that they don't eat a lot, they actually end up holding on to stress, binge at the wrong times, and they eat more later on, so they end up gaining more weight. So I don't recommend not eating anything, and I don't recommend under eating. All I'm saying is you're gonna have to be attentive to, is this whole foods or not? Maybe you need to not have so many cheat days. So let's say right now you have 2 or 3 cheat days a week. Let's take that down to 1, or even if in a short period of time, take that down to 0, just to get yourself used to eating more consistently the same. Now, I'm not saying cheat days are bad. I do them myself. I love them. But if your goal here is to get in like tip-top shape, and you know that if I have a cheeseburger, it's gonna set me off for the rest of the week wanting more unhealthy things, then maybe take some time to really reinvent what does eating look like for me by staying consistent with a routine in more healthier foods. I'm gonna be real with y'all, it's not always easy, because you're gonna have to tell yourself no in a lot of situations. Like I know that for me, I might want, you know, the fried food all the time, or a thing that's covered with a whole bunch of fat, or whatever that is, but sometimes I have to literally tell myself, no, we're not doing that today because we have goals. Yes, you can have a day where you're like, I'm gonna have a few things that I want, just to make sure it's like that 80-20 rule, but you also wanna make sure you're being aware of what you're eating, how much you're eating, and being clear on, is this gonna help me reach my goals? So let this be a reminder for you that 2026 is going to be a year of change, and discomfort is not always a bad thing. It's okay to feel a little bit uncomfortable, because we know that our outcome is going to be worth it. So just remember that when you're like in the midst of it and you're like, dang, this sucks, I don't want to continue. If your goal is to be confident in who you are and reach a goal and get consistent, then the upfront is going to be a little bit of discomfort, and that's perfectly okay. The next thing that's going to really help you hit your fitness goals and become unrecognizable in 2026 is getting something to help you track steps. I know for me personally, personally, step tracking wasn't something I always used to do, but being cognizant of how many steps you get a day can be an easy game changer in how much weight you're losing. It also help keep you in a caloric deficit. You guys, walking is the #1 way people burn fat, okay? People don't realize that just walking and doing a lot of it is actually a really good way of burning fat. I highly recommend that you get a tracker of some sort. I use my Ultra Human ring, which also tracks sleep, which we'll get to in a minute. But I use this ring to track sleep, but it can track steps. I have a watch that I got off of Amazon. I'll link this watch in my description, but truly it helps with, you know, getting yourself 8,000 to 10,000 step goal count. So there's no supernatural number that's gonna make you automatically be the most fit person, but if you can just increase what you are doing now to what you wanna do. So let's say normally you're getting 4,000 to 5,000 steps, can we increase that to 8? If you're doing 8 now, can we increase that to 10? If you're doing 10 now and your goal is to still lose a little bit of fat, can we just increase that to 11 or 12? I'm not saying you need to be going out here doing thousands and thousands of steps, but something that helps me move more throughout the day is like after each meal, I try to get up and move a little bit. In the mornings, I'll take a little bit of a quick stroll around my block just a few times. When I'm taking a break or I'm taking phone calls like Zoom or talking to a friend, or I want to get a quick podcast in, I'll just go and move while I do that. Just find ways to create more movement throughout your day, and don't just allow, like, if it's something you can do while moving, why not just do it? Because your body's gonna start craving that movement more, and I promise you it will become like second nature once you start doing this more often. Like at first it might be a little odd to just be like,
why am I getting up so much?
But you're gonna naturally want to get up. You're not gonna always want to sit down, and you're gonna see the fat start to shed a lot quicker if you do it this way. So highly recommend getting yourself a step tracker. So I want to talk a little bit more about just the discomfort that comes from wanting to be unrecognizable. So you're gonna want to create routines and structures that you're not quite used to, but will be worth it in the end. So how can we create more structure in our day? That's gonna be something that's gonna really help you stay on track with your goals. So can you have a morning routine that helps you stabilize your metabolism, whether that is drinking more water, eating more protein? Can you start creating those structures in the morning so that throughout your day you feel good? So something I like to do for my mornings is I will wake up, go outside in the mornings, and it really helps my circadian rhythm. It helps me kind of just feel more peaceful. It calms my nervous system down, but also it helps me prepare myself for the night. So if you are helping your circadian rhythm early in the morning, then you are helping yourself out to have a better night's rest, and sleep, like I always say in all my videos, is the #1 key of getting in shape and feeling the best. So highly recommend that you start figuring out different structures and ways to calm your nervous system down, help yourself not feel stressed all the time, because holding on to that will really make you feel overwhelmed, and it won't help you see the goals you want, and it won't get you the body that you're desiring. Another thing that's gonna help you be unrecognizable in 2026 is wearing different clothing that makes you feel confident. Some people don't like this idea, but I personally know that when I feel good, I move better in every way possible. So if you are somebody who loves to go to the gym, find cute workout sets that encourage you to keep going. Also, finding comfortable workout sets, okay? That's something I noticed, is when I have things that are super tight and super uncomfortable, it actually adds a barrier to my working out desires. So I personally love comfort. I also love being cute. There's a lot of outfits that have both of those together. And Lululemon has some cute ones. They're kind of expensive and pricey. Honestly, Amazon has a lot of workout sets. Adidas, I wear a lot of different Adidas outfits that are comfortable. But honestly, go to your local store and try on things that make you feel good, but also feel comfortable, because I promise you there's something about just having that cute set prepared for my workouts ahead of time that also keeps me pushed and encourages me to just put them on in the morning when I work out. But if you have that cute set on, it will keep you encouraged, and honestly, you'll move so much more confidently. I know I do, and that'll help you out as well. Lastly, I want you to find 2 people that you can talk to about these goals, who are on this journey with you, so that you can feel encouraged. This year, I have been really intentional with investing in myself by joining communities. I actually met a few friends who are doing similar things to me right now, and it's been really helpful to help me kind of enter into this new era and to really change my persona and like become this new person in a sense. So it's been really helpful because they not only will help motivate you, but they'll give you ideas, they'll encourage you, they'll be on that journey with you. Like, it's really nice to do things with people who are in a similar space to you. So if you can find people who have similar interests with workouts, maybe at your gym, if you see somebody who is always coming in, maybe talking to them and saying, hey, like, do you want to do workouts together? Just becoming friends, go get lunch. Like, honestly, doing this has really been a game changer for me. I am so happy I started doing this. It started changing my perspective. It's made me try different things I never tried before. They'll call you higher and make you find things that will really help you. But ultimately, having a accountability is something that has really helped elevate me as a person, especially as an athlete, and I believe it can help you too. So these things have helped me in my sport, and they have made me so much better. I invested in coaches who told me like, hey, this is what you need to do and how you need to do it, and I held myself accountable. If you're somebody who needs accountability or needs structure with your workouts, wants to have that body that you're desiring but needs a little bit of extra help, I will have a link in my description for working with me one-on-one. I know personally what it's like to want that accountability, that structure, and that help and guidance, and I can do that for you with this new program that I am developing. So if that's something you find interesting, head to that link and we can figure out something for you. But I hope this video helped you just feel more encouraged and allows you to feel confident going into 2026, knowing you can do the dang thing, you can hit your goals, and you can have the body you've always desired. It's just gonna take a little bit of intentionality, a little bit of effort, and you'll be happy you did it. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up and comment down below one thing that you're gonna do differently in the next couple weeks that's gonna help you reach your goals. Just one thing, and I'll be your personal cheerleader. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.